So. How you been? It's been a little while, a couple of weeks now since I sat down and just chatted with you for a little while. So I thought it was about time that we caught up. It's rather late right now, and I thought it would be a good idea to, as per usual, tuck you in and just gently talk to you as you try to fall asleep. I've got a blanket, as per usual. I've got a nice warm blanket. I know it might be getting a little hot for you, but we can just tuck you in here, and you're not going to get too hot. This won't get you too hot. It's just going to keep you nice and cozy. Alright. Let's get you, there we go, all tucked in. Alright, just, there we go. There we are. You're all nice and tucked in. Nice and tucked in there. And of course, please actually do tuck yourself in. I can't actually do it for you. So if you're laying in bed right now, please, just tuck yourself in. I've got like a few things that are on my mind today. I've been off work for 4 weeks now, and so I feel like I have a lot that I did during that time, but I also feel like I did nothing. So if you're willing to listen, I thought I would tell you about it. But before we get into that, how have you been? I hope you've been keeping well, getting plenty of rest, making sure to keep up with relaxing and de-stressing at the end of your days. If you've got time, I'd like to hear about it. Just what you've been up to. Things you've been doing. How you've been feeling. I'd like to know. So if you have a little bit of spare time, it's okay, you don't have to if you don't want to. You don't have to tell me. But if you're feeling up to it, I'd like to know. said, let me just tell you about what I've been up to, how I've been. Sorry, I hope you don't mind if I just sort of play with the blanket a little. I don't know, I just felt like doing this today. It just seems like fun, so I hope you don't mind that sound. I'll try not to disturb you in the blanket. I'll just maybe scratch it a little or something. Who knows? But, yeah, what was I saying? What I've been up to lately. I can't remember what I told you last time I was here. I believe I had said I had just gotten a new car, I believe. I think I was telling you about that. There's like a little fly thing. I don't know what it's like. It's not a fly, but it's not a mosquito. It's like a little, I don't know, we would call them midgies here. They're like tiny little insects that fly around. But there's one, and I think it's attracted to my light. So I hope that doesn't disturb us while we're here, but I keep seeing it, so just keep an eye out maybe. Yeah, I got a car, and so I've been driving around a lot more lately. I bought a book too, and I feel really stupid because I bought the book at the very beginning of my time off, with the intention of I would buy it, and then with the time off I would read it and get through it when I had spare time or just wanted a quiet afternoon. And it turned out I read the first chapter and then didn't pick it up again. I keep doing that with books that I own. I used to read all the time. As you may know, I would talk to you about reading all the time. All the different books and things that I have. I just spent all of my time reading. But now it's, I don't know, it's not difficult, it's just, I feel like there's so much more that I want to be doing that it almost feels, I just heard that midgie flying around, it almost feels like a waste to read, and that's not what it should feel like. It shouldn't be like a chore to read. It should be something that you want to do. And so, yeah, I didn't tell you what the book was, did I? I don't think I did. Did I tell you what it was? I don't think I did. It's The Green Mile by Stephen King. I'm a really big fan of The Shining, both the film reasons. Like, the two things aren't the same in my mind. The movie is really, really good for one reason, and the book is really, really, really good for another reason. And so I like them both equally, but like separated. And so I bought, it's actually behind me. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Is it here somewhere? Here. You can't see. Right there. Ooh. Whoops. I dropped something. I'll make sure that's quiet for you. Right behind me is Doctor Sleep by Stephen King, which is like the sequel to The Shining. I never actually finished that. I don't know, when you read a book that's like just so perfect as I felt it was with The Shining. Like, that book is probably like one of my favorites. I don't know if it is my favorite, but it's definitely up there. When you read something like that, the sequel never seems to like fulfill that. It never seems to fulfill that itch that you got with the original. So I got like, I don't remember, maybe like 50 pages in, something like that. I could check, but I'm not going to. I got like 50 pages in and then just didn't read anymore. But because I liked the way that The Shining was written, sort of how it's read, I thought, I'm gonna get another one of Stephen King's books. I'm gonna get another one of his books and give it a go. So I got The Green Mile, and I read the first chapter, and it's giving me similar vibes. Actually, I'm gonna pick it up. It's giving me similar vibes as to The Shining, but it's been like 3 weeks now since I bought the book. It's been like 3 weeks since I bought the book, and I haven't picked it up since I read that first chapter. I'm hoping that when I go back to work, I'll want to read it then, because the last book I read was Flowers for Algernon, or Algernon, I don't know, the mouse rat one. That was the last book I read, and I read that while I was at work. Just during my free time, I'd be reading that. So I'm hoping that, seeing as I didn't do what I wanted to and read it during my break, that maybe with me returning, I'll be able to make the time to read it. Don't go spoiling it for me, okay? I remember seeing the movie The Green Mile with Tom Hanks, I believe. But I actually don't remember the ending. I know there's like the main prisoner guy has like healing powers or something like that. I don't know. I have like weird flashes of the movie, but because I don't remember it extremely clearly, I thought I'll give the book a go and see how I go. So no spoilers. Alright. I'll read it and I'll make sure I tell you all about it, okay? So no spoilers. We can talk about it later. My foot's asleep. I need to... my foot was asleep. I've been sitting on it. Okay. Well, let's maybe not talk about just books this entire time. I probably could just ramble on to you about different books and stuff like that. And I definitely have in the past done that. So let's try and move on to the other things I was going to talk to you about. I've been visiting places. I think I said this last time. I was planning on visiting places, like just sort of around my city, see things and go places that I've not done before. And so that's what I've been doing with my break. Although it's not really places that I've not gone before. It was more so me wanting to just go to the places that I know, but like by myself and like find my way there. There's something sort of I don't want to say freeing, that's not particularly the right word. There's something sort of liberating. That's not even the right word either. Comforting, I guess that's a good word. There's something sort of comforting about being able to find your way to the places you enjoy. And so there's a lot of places in and around my city, which is Perth, by the way, if anyone didn't know that. I live in Perth, Western Australia, so hi. Hello, anybody out there who's also from Perth. Shout out to you, I guess. Yeah, so I've just been going to different places around Perth that I've been to before, but I wanted to know my way and how to get there. And so that's been fun to do. It's strange, my I guess my world has opened up with this new thing that I can do. But with that, the only thing that I wanted to do was just stick to the same and just go to the places that I knew. Is that like an odd thing? Is that something you have experienced? You get the opportunity to go and do new things, or explore somewhere, maybe go on a trip, or you have these opportunities to do things. But instead, you find comfort in staying with the same places with the same people, doing the same things. It's comforting. That's the word I'd like to use, comforting. It doesn't mean I don't want to go to new places and see new things. But it turns out with a lot of time and the ability to go places and do things that I want to do, the thing I choose is the things I know. That has to be the same for everyone, right? I'm not alone in doing that. Everyone likes familiar things. So I guess that makes sense. It's kind of disappointing, these days coming to an end. Realizing I'm going to be going back to a schedule that takes up a lot of my time. I won't be able to just procrastinate, dilly-dally, and not actually do the things that I should be doing. It turns out that I guess I'm finding out a couple of things. It's been a very long time since I just had a break and time and opportunity to do the things that I want to do. I work a full-time job, and I have for several years now, and I rarely take holiday longer than 3 or 4 days. Usually it's just a couple days around my birthday each year that I'll take off. And so this is the first time I've had an extended period of time where I have the money to do things, I have a car to go and do things, I have free time to go and do things. And it's been sort of, I guess, an experiment. Really? Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? It's been an experiment because I've just discovered sort of habits that I have. I'm looking at them right now, but I discovered that when I'm bored, I will work out. That's something I do. I get bored, and the thing I want to do is lift weights. So I guess that's a good thing, but I've never thought about that before, because usually I'm trying to sneak in exercise in the moments that I can get them. Not actually when I'm bored am I doing it. So having the time to sort of sit around and do nothing don't know what I'm saying. Different. The word's gone. Different. Like things that target the different muscles. My brain is imploding apparently. I don't know what the word is. Workouts. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, well that doesn't matter. Anyway, man, that really just threw me off. Sorry about that. I'm just like, I don't know, I kind of spaced out because I couldn't remember the word that I was thinking of, and I don't know what happened. Let's just talk about something else, shall we? You know what's something cool and fun that I did? This might just be like a me thing that's nobody cares about and nobody cares to hear, but I got on my Steam Deck an emulator up and running. I, as a kid, played the Ratchet and Clank trilogy on PS2, Ratchet and Clank 2, Locked and Loaded, or it's called something else in the US. It's called Going Commando, and then Ratchet and Clank 3, Up Your Arsenal. So yeah, Ratchet and Clank, Locked and Loaded, and Ratchet and Clank, Up Your Arsenal. I used to play that trilogy all the time as a kid. It was my favorite games on PS2. That and Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Probably the games I played the most as a kid. With probably the Prince of Persia trilogy on PS2 being closely behind those. I think, yeah, it was probably Ratchet and Clank and Kingdom Hearts are probably super competitive for what I played the most. But then, yeah, definitely just below that was the Prince of Persia trilogy. But so I have the Ratchet and Clank games, but I wanted to play them on a portable device. I wanted to be able to take them somewhere instead of having to boot up a PlayStation 2 and put them in and play them on terrible quality because it only renders in whatever it is 480p or something like that. And so I've gotten an emulator before to run them on my computer, but the Ratchet and Clank games are notorious for being not good games to emulate. However, I have a Steam Deck now. I've had one for quite a while actually, since November of last year. Since they released in Australia, because for the longest time you couldn't get an official Australian Steam Deck. You had to import them from Japan or Singapore or something like that is where you had to get them from. Or I guess the US as well, you could have done that, but yeah, so for the longest time they just weren't available for purchase here. But I got one as soon as they were, and I've been slowly going through my Steam library and buying new games on Steam to sort of I don't know, just have stuff to play. And so at the beginning of the year I was playing the Kingdom Hearts games, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, because you can buy the remake, the re-release, what are they called? The 0.5 editions, final mix. They're on Steam, so I was playing those, and I 100%ed Kingdom Hearts 1, and I got this this close to 100% in Kingdom Hearts 2. But the data fights, don't get me started. They are so tedious and annoying. So the only things I had left to do was the data fights. I had like 4 of them left to do, and then the what's his name? Titus, not Titus. It's Terra is his name. The Terra fight, that's part of the final mix thing, which the data fights are also. But I did like all the Dalmatians. Wait, that's the first game. I did all the chests. I got all the chests. I did all the challenges. The only things that were left to do were the like 4 data boss fights, and then beating Terra in like that alternate like world thing. So maybe one day I'll go back and finish that and actually truly 100% Kingdom Hearts 2. But anyway, that's beside the point. I wanted to then play Ratchet and Clank because that was the other game that I like absolutely loved as a kid. And so you can't get those games. They're not on PC. At least as far as I could see. There is like re-releases of them on PS3, I believe. And there is the remake of the first game on PS4, but it's not really a remake. It's like a retelling of the movie that I don't know. It's like a whole thing. So I wanted to play Ratchet & Clank 1, 2, and 3, and I thought, you know what? It's about time I tried emulating this again. Let's try emulating it on the Steam Deck. And so I got it up and running, and the thing runs so perfectly. It's so good. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy that this game that I had loved for years and like owned, treasuredly owned. Is that a word? I don't know. I was finally able to play it without like frame drops, without it being bad. I can get it in like high definition, so it just like the emulator will upscale the quality for me, so I can play it in 1080p. It runs smoothly. There's very little frame drops, so I'm just like having a ball. And so now I'm 100%ing. I almost said Kingdom Hearts. 100%ing Ratchet & Clank 1. The only thing I have left to do is get enough bolts to buy all the gold weapons and the rhino. That's like the last thing I have to do in the game. And then I'm going to move on to 2. I'm going to see if I want to 100% Kingdom Hearts. I said Kingdom Hearts again. Ratchet & Clank 2. Ratchet & Clank 2 as a kid, that was my like least favorite one. Ratchet & Clank 2 was my least favorite one when I was a kid. And then Ratchet & Clank 3, I think I played that like all the time. I played that one so much. And we actually, I'll go into this. We had if you don't know, I might actually need to explain this to some people. So, back in the day, that makes me sound so old. Back when I was a kid, there used to be demo discs, and you would get them in like magazines or like giveaways at like fast food places or like things like that. And we had a demo disc on PS2 that had a bunch of stuff on it. I can't really remember the entirety of what was on there. But there was a Ratchet & Clank 1 demo disc. Like on the demo disc we could play Ratchet & Clank 1, some of the levels from that. And so before we even owned the game, I think I played that demo disc every weekend for like a year, any chance I could, I would be playing just the demo version of Ratchet and Clank. I fell in love with that game before I even played it. And I remember one day, I think it was for my brother's birthday, he got Ratchet and Clank. And it was like, it was his birthday present, but I was the happiest I could have ever been because I could now play the full version of this game that I had loved. And I remember I would just play the same because it was only 2 levels. There was only Blackwater City and Metropolis. Those were the 2 levels that you could play. I don't know if anybody even knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I would just play those 2 things over and over and over and over and over again. And so then I remember getting the actual game and playing the first one so much. I played that game like 10 times. And then we got Ratchet and Clank 2, and I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. But then, not long after that, we got Ratchet and Clank 3, and I think at that point, after we got Ratchet and Clank 3, I never stopped playing. I never stopped playing it. I never stopped playing Ratchet and Clank 3. It was like the game that I just always went back to. I would beat it and then play it again, and then beat it and then play it again, and then beat it and then play it again. I just constantly would go through it. So maybe I'll try and 100% Ratchet and Clank 2 and 3. I'm not sure. Now that my break's over, it may not be worth it. It may take up too much of my time. We'll see though. I guess we'll see. Well, it's late, and I've been chatting for a while now, haven't I? I haven't stopped talking for a little bit. I hope that's okay with you. I'm just gonna sit back here and just sort of lean against the wall here. Actually, wait 1 second. I might be able to. There we go. Right, does that work? There we go. Now I'm not so far away. I think I'm going to slowly close out the video now. I think it's time, if you haven't already, I think it's time for you to go to sleep. Get some rest. Some well-deserved rest. We've been sitting here and I've just been chatting your ear off this whole time. And so, I hope you would be asleep or close to it, just ready and waiting to fall asleep, just waiting for me to finish talking so you can completely relax. And so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna let you go to bed. Bid you farewell. See you later. Goodbye. I will see you again very soon, Bozo. I will see you again very, very soon. Okay? soon enough I'll be back and I'll be chatting to you again. So good night. Good night. I will see you very soon. I hope you enjoyed just listening to me chat. Maybe next time you'll be up to chatting and I could just sit here and listen. Maybe one of these days we could do that. But if not, hey, at least you like listening to me.